Good evening, and it's 7 o'clock, so it's time for another live yoga class from my room to your room. Or if you're not watching live, then of course, whatever time of day is, hello. So we're going to start in a comfortable seated position this evening. As always, if you need to sit on a block or a little pillow, or towel, something just to lift the hips up, just to provide you with a little bit more height in the hips. Go ahead and do so. And we'll get straight into it. Let's bring our hands into Chin Mudra. We'll close the eyes. And just taking a moment to draw our focus now from the external world to the internal world. I'm going to be doing a vinyasa flow class. Slowing it down a little bit tonight as well. Maybe holding postures a little bit longer than we're used to. And as always, before we start, just taking a moment to notice how you feel right now. And it's going to be a full moon tomorrow, so that moon is high in the sky, affecting the water on the world and in our bodies as well. So if you're feeling a little bit emotional today, it's totally normal. If you have a bit of water retention in the body, again, totally normal. And so grounding down through your seat, let's rise up through the crown of the head. Spine nice and tall. And then let's soften the forehead. Let's soften the cheeks, the ears, the jaw, and the shoulders. Just bring your awareness now to your breath. Notice the quality of the breath. Just notice the wind entering and exiting through the nostrils. Notice the movement in the body from the breath. And we'll take a deep inhale down into the abdomen, up into the chest, up into the shoulders. And let's exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, nice and deep. Exhale the mouth. Inhale the nose. Exhale the mouth. And just return to normal breathing for a moment. Just notice any changes in the body, if there are any, maybe not. Maybe that deep breath has just calmed you, grounded you a little bit more. Maybe it's brought more oxygen into the body, so you're feeling a little buzzing going around the body. And then start to deepen the breath again, but this time we're just going to breathe in and out now through the nose. And maybe beginning to activate our Ujjayi breath. Breathing with sound. as we constrict the back of the throat slightly. Make a sound like a distant ocean, or a little bit less romantic, Darth Vader. Start to lengthen those breaths, really trying to slow down the inhales and exhales. To see if you can get the inhale the same length as the exhale. So if you're inhaling for 4, exhale for 4. Keeping that focus on that sound. Eventually in your yoga practice, that sound becomes a mantra for your practice, a point to focus on. Stop the mind wandering. As you exhale, exhale your breath completely. Feel a contraction down in your abdomen and into your pelvic floor, the natural contraction of your bandhas. And I want you to draw the belly in and up. And direct the breath into the upper body. As we activate our Uddiyana Bandha in the abdomen and Mula Bandha in the pelvic floor. And keeping the focus on the breath, we'll gently open the eyes. Let's interlace the fingers. Inhale, reaching the arms high. Send the pelvis forward. Find extension through the spine, lift the gaze. And exhale, send the pelvis back, flexion through the spine, hands behind the head, draw chin to the chest. Inhale, reach the arms high again. Extension through the spine, looking up. And exhale, sending the hands forward this time as we round through the spine, press through the shoulders. Tailbone under, pelvis shoots back, posterior pelvis. Bring hands towards the heart. Inhale, open the chest, lift the gaze. And exhale, send the hands away. Flexion through the spine, chin, chest. Inhale, reach in. And exhale, side flexion, right hand onto the mat. And reaching over with that left hand, gazing down. Maybe elbow comes to the mat, maybe not. And then inhale, gaze towards the extended hand. Reach a little bit more if you can. Exhale, looking down. Come back to center. Interlace fingers. Inhale, reach. And exhale, side flexion to the left. Doesn't matter if you went the opposite way, just take it to the other side. Looking down to begin, then inhale and look towards that extended hand. Reach a bit further. Exhale, looking down, back to center. Interlace fingers. Inhale, reach. If you practice with me a lot, you know we do this quite a bit. And exhale, forward fold and twist. Bring your forehead towards the right knee. Inhale to spiral tall, left hand on the knee, right hand behind the back. And exhale, twisting, gazing over the right shoulder. So we've got these movements from John Scott. Come back to center, interlace fingers, inhale. Just taking the spine through some fundamental movements. And exhale, forward fold and twist. Forehead comes towards the left knee. Inhale, spiral tall, right hand on the knee, left hand behind the back. And exhale, twist, gazing over your left shoulder. Moving back to center, interlace fingers. Inhale, reach. And exhale, release. Let's bring hands to the mat. We'll make our way to a tabletop position. These hips width apart, And fingers spread, shoulders over the wrists. Get nice and strong in your tabletop, in your foundations, top of the feet pressing into the mat. And let's do some cat-cows. We'll just do a few rounds to warm up the spine a little bit further. As we inhale, drop the navel, lift the tailbone, move the heart forward, looking up, keep pressing the hands into the mat. And exhale, tucking tailbone under, round through the spine, chin comes to the chest. Inhale, looking up into your cow. Try to make the movement go through all of the spine. And exhale, round the back. Press through the shoulders, chin in. Inhale, moving into your cow again. Exhale into your cat. Inhale, coming back to a neutral spine. And just check those bandhas are on here. Tucking tailbone under slightly, navel drawn in. Let's step the right foot back. Bringing the ball of the foot onto that. Let's press back through that right heel. Stretching through that right leg. See if you can engage that right quadricep. Really working strength through that leg. Just waking that leg up a little bit now. And dropping the right knee back to the mat. Left side. Straighten that left leg back. Press through that left heel. You feel that leg working. Bringing left knee back to the mat. Let's tuck the toes under, send the hips back and up. And find our downward facing dog. Feet are hips width apart. Wrapping the triceps under. Actively trying to draw the inner arms towards each other and spread the shoulders apart. So we don't want to be crunching up the traps in the neck. Trying to find space there. Maybe twisting the neck side to side. Just releasing through the neck. Maybe we're going to nod the head forwards and backwards. Whatever feels good. Maybe twisting side to side with those hips. Your chance to explore. And let's come up onto the balls of the feet. Let's lift those heels nice and high. Strengthening through those legs. See if you can squeeze those legs. Really engage in the legs here. And keeping the legs on. Slowly lowering those heels towards the mat. And again, if you're really tight in those legs, remember we can have the knees bent here. This is all good. Let's walk hands towards the feet. And let's take a forward fold. So again, bend the knees as much as you need to. Take hold of opposite elbows. Take your ragdoll. And we'll sway from side to side in our ragdoll. If that feels good, if you want to find stillness here, go ahead and do so. And just checking in, as always, with how the body feels. Always good to notice how you feel. Well, during the entire practice, but particularly at the start of the practice. Releasing the elbows, bring hands to the mat. And let's walk the hands forward, finding our downward facing dog again. Let's look towards the hands. Inhale as we walk the feet towards the hands. Feet come together, extend through your spine, halfway lift. Again, you can be here, hands on the shins. And exhale, forward fold. Head comes in. Inhale to come all the way up to standing. Palms touch. Gazing up to your thumbs. And exhale. Hands heart center. Let's close the eyes. So maybe you have an intention for your practice this evening. If you don't have an intention, let me suggest patience. acceptance, and exploration. Just exploring the body as it is, noticing what comes up. Like I said, as we're approaching the full moon, just being gentle with yourself. It'll be full moon tomorrow, so you're going to really slow the practice down tomorrow. Nice stretchy practice. Nothing too crazy on the full moon. And so let's check in with how we're standing. So equal weight on the balls and the heels of the feet. And let's get nice and strong through those legs. So try to lift the quadriceps and lift the kneecaps using the quadriceps. Tuck the tailbone under. And again, find those bandhas. Drawing in and up, finding that space. The chest is open, the shoulders are relaxing away from the ears. Spine is long, reaching through the crown of the head. Eyes are closed. And really feel like you're a tree, rooting down through those feet and rising up. Can you draw the energy through the feet, all the way up the body? And let's all take an arm together. We'll take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale for Om. And exhale, we'll release the hands by the side of the body. Some sun salutations to wake us up. Inhale, raise the arms, externally rotate those shoulders, palms touch, gaze to your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward from the hips, bend the knees as much as you need to here as you come into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Again, you can be here. And exhale, plant the hands, jump or step the feet back, find your high plank. Inhale, high plank. And exhale, lower down. Drop knees, chest, chin, or you can come through chaturanga. Pointing toes. Inhale, let's move forward into cobra. Baby cobra, nothing too crazy, half forward. And exhale, tucking the toes under, press back and up. Downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths in, nice and deeply. Again, try to equalize the breath. So same length on the inhale as the exhale. And just check your gaze, your drishti is to the navel or just between the knees, but with the focus on the navel. One more breath here. Look between the hands. Inhale, walking or jumping feet to hands if that's in your practice. Extend through your spine. Exhale, forward fold, head comes in. Inhale as we come all the way up to standing. Palms touch, gaze up, thumbs. And exhale. Hands by your side. And again, we're not doing Ashtanga, we're not counting. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, find length through the spine, halfway lift. And exhale, jump or step the feet back, high plank, and lower down with control. Through your chaturanga, drop to the knees first. Inhale, cobra, or you're coming into your upward facing dog if it feels good. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Nice deep breathing. Lifting those sit bones to the ceiling. Couple more breaths here. Lifting the inner arches of the feet in your downward dog. And just checking that they're not rolling inside. And looking between your hands. Inhale as you walk or jump, feet to hands extend through your spine. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, head in. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Palms touching, gaze into your thumbs. And exhale, hands back by your side. And again, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Stay relaxed, stay focused. Exhale, jump or step the feet back, high plank, and lowering down with control. Inhale, cobra, or you're moving into your upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here a few breaths. For 1, 2, and 3. As we exhale, we're going to bend the knees, bring the knees onto the mat. Maybe walk the feet back a little bit here so the tops of the feet are at the back of the mat. Keeping the hips over the knees, we're going to walk the hands forward and make our way into puppy. And again, it's a nice shoulder stretch. If you wish, you can go deep if you want. If you want to take it into the lower back. Otherwise, if you're working into your shoulder flexibility, my suggestion is to keep the tailbone tucked under a little bit here. Keep the work in the hands. So keep pressing the hands into the mat and just wrap the triceps under as you would do in your downward dog. Not going as deep, but just keeping the work in the upper back, in the shoulders. Now we'll stay here a few breaths. Breathe between those shoulder blades. Use the full capacity of the lungs. 2 more breaths. And let's tuck those toes under. Let's walk the hands back towards us a little bit here. And then lift the hips up as we make our way back into our downward facing dog. Move your feet forward if you need to. Move your hands forward if you need to. Looking between your hands. Inhale, walking or jumping feet to hands. Extend through your spine, looking up. Exhale, forward fold. Head comes in. Inhale as we come all the way up to standing. Palms touching. Find that extension through your spine. Root through the feet. And exhale, hands by your side. Let's heel toe those feet. Hips width apart. And we'll raise the arms. Inhale. As we exhale, bring the hands behind the head. Interlace fingers. Come into a squat and bring elbows towards the knees. Inhale, we're going to straighten those legs, hips forward. Open the chest up. Open that front body. And exhale, rounding down again. Inhale as you move up. Hips forward. Arch back. Exhale. Coming into that squat. I'm going to continue to do this. Just be mindful that you don't take it too far. If you have a little bit more in your back bending, you can go a little bit deeper. And move more quickly or more slowly if you need to stay with your breath. Let's do 3 more. Squeeze those glutes at the top as you open up. One more. And this time, as we come down, we're going to release hands from by the head, take them forward. We're going in to our little chair. Just breaking up those leggies a little bit more. Shoulders back, chest open. Inhale. And exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, stepping both feet back, find your high plank. Inhale, in your high plank. In fact, let's hold our high plank a little bit here. Let's work on that core. So squeeze those glutes, those legs should be nice and warmed up now. Tuck that tailbone under, pull the lower ribs in. As always, you can find your half plank if you need to. Drop in the knees, but keep the work in the core as best as you can. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Drop knees first or come through your chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or your upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Raise your right leg towards the ceiling. Find your three-legged dog. Yeah, let's keep that hip closed. Pull that right hip down. Press back through the left hip. Reaching that right foot, or reaching back through that right heel. Inhale. Exhale, bend that right knee. Come onto the ball of the left foot, round the spine, draw it in towards the chin. And inhale, it shoots it back. Three-legged dog. Exhale, round the spine, draw it into the chin, squeeze. Inhale, send it back. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it in, around the spine. We're going to plant the foot this time. If you can, bring it all the way forward between the hands. Then we'll find a high lunge. So chest nice and open here. Now trying to find strength through that back leg. Squeeze that glute. As we inhale, let's straighten that right leg. Let's stretch that right hamstring. And exhale, make our way back into that lunge. Inhale, straighten. Exhale to lunge. Inhale, straighten. Exhale to lunge. Holding that lunge. Let's drop the back knee to the mat. Keep the back toes tucked under. Let's come into a little twist. Left hand on the mat, reaching that right arm high. Keep sinking hips low. Inhaling. And exhale, plant that right foot back down, outside of that right foot. Pick the left knee up. Inhale, send that right foot back, three-legged dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold your downward dog, or we're taking a vinyasa. Inhale as we move forward, high plank. Exhale to lower down. Inhale your cobra or upward. Exhale, downward facing dog. And same on the left side. Inhale, raise the left leg to the ceiling. Three-legged dog. Again, that left hip drops low. Press back through the right hip. Feel the work in that right hip here. Breathing into the upper back. Inhale. Exhale, bend the left knee around the spine. Bring it in towards the chin. Squeeze. Inhale, send it back. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it in. Squeeze. Inhale, send it back. Three-legged dog. Okay, we're planting the foot this time. Exhale as we bring it forward, round the spine. Come onto the ball of the back foot. Drop that left foot between the hands. Or if you don't quite make it, wiggle that left foot forward. Let's find that high lunge. And keeping that chest open. And working through the front of the hips here. Back leg nice and strong. Inhale, straighten left leg. Stretch out those hamstrings. Keep the chest open if you can. And exhale, bend back into that left knee. Inhale, straighten the leg. As much as you can. Doesn't need to be fully straight. Exhale as you bend the knee again. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend the knee and plant the right knee to the mat. Plant the right hand down, or you can use a block, and let's open up into an easy twist. Reaching the left arm high. Inhale. Exhale, plant that left hand. Pick the back knee up and inhale. Send the left foot back, three-legged dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold your downward dog. Have a rest in child's pose if you wish, or let's take a vinyasa. Inhale to move forward. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward. Exhale, downward. Okay, finding that breath. Finding that focus. As you exhale, exhale everything out. Calm the mind, calm the nervous system. And let's bring that right leg back up. Three-legged dog. This time we're going to point the toe, we're going to open that hip up. As we open that hip up, just be mindful that we don't start opening the chest to the long side of the mat. Draw that right armpit down towards your mat. Try to keep equal weight in the hands. Inhale. And exhale. Bend that right knee. Bring it in towards a chin squeeze. Inhale. Send it back. Really open that hip up. Exhale. Let's go into a twist this time. Let's bring that knee underneath. Touch the left elbow or the left upper arm if you can. Inhale. Send it back. And exhale, bring it towards the outside of that right arm. See if you can plant that right foot outside of the right hand now. So the hands are inside that foot. If it was off the mat like it was with me, we're just going to move it back onto the mat here. I'm just working through our hips a little bit more. A little bit of a lizard. Option 1 is to stay here. Option 2, we're going to start to walk the hands over to the left. If you're going well, maybe you're going to drop to the elbows. Maybe you're going to reach those arms forward a little bit more. Stay nice and strong through that back leg. And coming back onto the hands. Walking those hands back through center. Again, your option 1 is to stay here. Otherwise, we're going to rock onto the outsides of the feet. Reaching that right arm high if you feel good here. And stay lifted in the hips. So don't drop the hips so much right now. And just check that right ankle. We haven't got creases on the inside of that right ankle, so press through that right big toe. Like this right big toe pressing that I'm doing this week. Just a new way I've found to really activate through those hips. And now dropping that left hip down if it feels good. Maybe reaching towards that left foot with the right hand. Again, if it feels good, if it doesn't, stay where you are. Inhale, let's make our way back up. Let's heel toe that right foot in slightly. Bring the right hand onto the mat inside of the right foot and let's open up. So twisting the other way now. Left arm reaches high. Again, we're staying on the ball of that back foot. If you're going well, let's internally rotate that left shoulder and let's reach behind the back. And maybe we take hold of that right thigh, working into our twist a little bit more here. Maybe you're lifting the gaze, but stay nice and long through the neck. And exhale, let's release that right thigh. Let's bring the left hand back to the mat. Bring the right hand to the outside of the right foot. We didn't need to do that, but anyway, we did it. Inhale, let's send that right foot back. Three-legged dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Hold your downward dog. Or let's take a vinyasa. Inhale as we move forward, high plank. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Raise the left leg towards the ceiling. Three-legged dog first. So again, watch the shoulder position. Point the toe and then open the hip up. Keep pressing that left shoulder down so we don't open to the left side of the mat. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Bend that left knee. Close the hip as we bring that knee in towards the chin. Inhale, send it back and open the hip up. Exhale, coming into that twist, bring it underneath the body. See if you can tap the knee to the right elbow. Inhale, send it back. Open the hip. And exhale, bring it now on the outside of the left arm. See if you can plant that left foot outside of the left hand. And if it's off the mat, just bring it in slightly. And we're in that lizard. We'll breathe in, relaxing, and just noticing how it feels in your body here. Just check in, maybe you want to bring that right hand in a little bit, just checking that right shoulder is stacked over the right wrist. And let's open up. So drop into the outsides of the feet here. Stay nice and strong in the ankle. So just make sure that it's not collapsing too much. So if you can see some creases again on the inside of that left ankle, flex it up a little bit. Press through that left ball of the left big toe, or ball of the left foot. Keep the hips lifted here. Maybe you're going to reach that left arm high. And really feeling that work in the hip. If you're going well, drop that hip now. And reach back towards the right foot. And let's hold. For 3. Breathe in deep. For 2. 1. Inhale, making your way back up. Left hand inside of that left foot. And let's open into our twist now to the right. So stay on the ball of the right foot as you twist up. Not dropping that heel. And again, if you're going well, maybe internal rotation in that right shoulder, bringing the right hand behind the back, and maybe you're taking that left thigh. And stay nice and strong in that right leg. And inhale, release that left thigh. Exhale, let's bring hand back to the mat. Let's not bother taking that left arm around the outside of the foot. Let's just step that left foot back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Again, holding your downward dog. Or let's take a vinyasa. Inhale as we move forward. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a little shoulder stretch. Going into dolphin or variation of dolphin. Let's drop the elbows to the mat. Let's bring the hands together and interlace the fingers. So I want you to get a good connection between the forearms, the elbows, the hands, and the mat. And just check that those elbows aren't splaying out here. So a nice trick you can do is using a strap to strap around the upper arms, just to keep those upper arms shoulder distance apart. If you're going well, press into the mat. Gaze between the knees. If you're going super well, start to walk those feet towards the body as you lift the hips high. And don't lose that connection between the forearms and the mat. Keep working through those shoulders. For me, this is really, really tough. Really hard on my tight little shoulders, but such a good one.
And keep that breath going into the upper back. We'll hold 2 more breaths if we can. You can drop to your knees at any point if you need to. 1 more breath. And walking those feet back. Let's find a forearm plank. Good. So shoulders over the elbows. Keeping that tailbone tucked under. Navel is in. Release hands onto the mat. And pick up. So pick up from the elbows coming onto the hands, and we'll just press back into our downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. If you're practicing your jumping through, your jumping forward, you can practice that now. We're going to come through to seated. Taking an inhale, and as you exhale, jumping forward, jumping through, or just dropping knees to the mat. Cross the legs over, or just swing the legs around as we come to a seated position. Let's bring soles of the feet together. Hopefully hips and legs nice and warm now. So making our way to Baddha Konasana. As always, if you're really tight in the hips, sit on a block. You can just pop the toes in this posture. If you're super tight, maybe coming into butterflies, like a butterfly flapping its wings. This can be a nice one for you if you're super, super tight when you first come into this posture. If you're going well, open the soles of the feet up to the ceiling. Keep the chest open, and we'll start to fold forward. Only if you're really opening the hips. If your knees are here, no point folding forward. Just stay upright and just work on opening through those, opening those knees wide, opening the inner groins. And let's breathe. Soften, relax. Remember, always control the breath. If we lose the breath, we're not practicing yoga anymore. We're just exercising. So we want that calmness. We want to keep that calmness, keep that control of the nervous system as we move through the practice. If we start panting, the nervous system is going to know what's up, and it's going to start to tense the body up. So we don't want that to happen. As always, you can move with your breath here. And inhale to find a little bit more length through your spine, and exhale to pull or push you a bit deeper or relax a little bit more. Inhale to find your length, to find your space in the body, and exhale to soften. Let's take a few more breaths here. Really working into the hips. One more breath. And inhale, lifting your gaze. Exhale, releasing. Let's take the feet out in front of us, and let's make our way down to a lying down position. Let's bend the knees. Bring the heels in towards the buttocks. Let's tuck our tailbone under here slightly. Let's check in the lower back is on the mat. Let's bring shoulder blades under the back. And let's straighten the right leg towards the ceiling. So if you can, you're going to reach to take hold of the big toe with the right hand. If you can't get there, you can bend the knee to get there. Otherwise, you can interlace the fingers behind the thigh, behind the calf, whatever feels good. Or you're using a strap. If you're really super tight in those hamstrings, you use a strap here. If you're going super well, you have the big toe, or you've got a good grip around that calf, maybe you want to straighten that left leg. And again, just continuing to stretch the hamstrings, stretching the legs. And if you're going super duper well, engage the abdomen and lift the head and shoulders up as you bring the head towards that right leg. Keep breathing and just make sure you're not forgetting about this left leg. Keep it nice and strong and send the energy out through the ball of that left foot. So pressing through the base of that big toe. Let's lower back down if you lifted the head and shoulders, and let's open that leg up to the right. And as always, as we do this, we don't want to tip. We don't want to tip. So you can do this with the knee bent as well if you wish. If you have that leg straight, keep the leg straight. And it's just working on the inner groins. When you feel those hips start to tip, you're going to hold it there. And let's just drop the head over to the left. So if you do Ashtanga with me, you'll recognize this posture as Supta Padangusthasana. A and B. This is B that we're in right now. And as you exhale, just release everything from the body. Release that tension. As you inhale, breathe into where you feel the tension in this posture. Inhale, let's bring that leg back through center. Release the big toe and lower that right leg with control all the way down to your mat. Good, let's bend the knees. And we'll do the other side. So again, straighten that left leg, catching that big toe if it's available. Or you're using your strap, or again, you're just taking the leg here. And again, if you're going super duper well, straighten that right leg and press out through that right foot. You're not taking it too far, especially if you've been running or cycling or walking a lot. Maybe the hamstrings are a little bit tight here. If you're a sucker for punishment and you want a little bit more, engage your abdomen, lift the head and shoulders off the mat, and pull on that big toe as you pull that leg towards you. And just making sure that you don't lose the work in that right leg. Let's hold a couple more breaths here. And slowly lower back down if you lift it up. And start to open that leg now to the left. So if you haven't got the big toe, we can just be cradling that left leg with the left hand. If you have the strap, if you're using a strap, take the strap into the left hand. So both straps come into the left hand as you open that leg up. And again, just be mindful that we don't start to tip. Use that right hand on that right hip to peel the hips open to the ceiling. And let's gaze over to the right. Nice little neck stretch. And again, just using that breath to relax, to soften. One more breath here. Inhale, we'll bring that leg back to center. And exhale, release the foot or the leg and lower that leg with control. Let's hug knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And let's bring the lower back into the mat. We'll engage the abdomen and lift the head and shoulders up. So you're pulling yourself into a ball here. And let's hold. Let's pull everything in. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Release the legs and reach those hands high. Pull the knees in, pull the thighs in. Hold for 3, for 2, 1. Take the arms out to the side if you have space. Keep pulling the knees in. Hold for 3. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. For 2, 1. Let's take the arms back up. Keep pulling those thighs in. For 3, The last one, come on. For 2, pull those sides in. And 1, exhale, release. Let's take the arms out to the side. Let's bring let's move the hips over to the left. Let's bring the right foot over to the outside of the left knee. So you're coming into like a pigeon posture. And then we're going to drop the knees over to the right. A little bit of a different twist as we gaze over to the left. So you're using the weight of that left leg. Reposition it if you wish. Using the weight of that right leg, to draw that left leg down. Nice little twist in your spine. Feeling a nice stretch across the chest. And draw head back to center. And draw the legs back to center. Unhook that right leg from the left. Let's shimmer the bum over to the right side of the mat now. Lift that left foot up. Cross it over the right leg. And drop the knees over to the left. Again, just checking that you're twisting in the right direction. So the knees are pointing left. And then the head goes to the right. And release. Let go. Inhale, draw the head back through center. Draw the legs back through center. Unhook that left leg from the right. Let's shimmer the bum back into the center of the mat. Give yourself a squeeze. Let's bring hands onto the mat. Pike the legs towards the ceiling. If you can, you're going to press those hands into the mat and try to lift the bum up. So using that core strength to take the feet overhead as we make our way into plow pose. If you're not getting any lift at all, maybe you could just stay here in a pike position, just releasing blood from the legs. If you made it over, just check that the weight is on the shoulders and on the back of the head. It's not on the neck. We don't want that neck to be on the mat at all. If it is, just wiggle the shoulders under the back a little bit more. Try to lift your sit bones to the ceiling. So try to find length through your spine rather than collapsing here into the back. Find that strength. If you're going well, maybe you're interlacing the fingers behind the back and taking a nice little shoulder stretch here. And if you're going super well here, we're going to start to bend those knees and bring them down either side of the head. Trying to keep the feet together here as we come into Karnapadasana, ear pressure pose. So squeeze the knees onto the ears. Breathe deep. And we'll hold for a couple more breaths here, if you can hear me. And releasing back to your Halasana. We'll bring the hands back onto the mat if you interlace the fingers, and let's slowly roll all the way back down with control, vertebra by vertebra. Strengthening through the core. Keep the navel drawn in. Keep the pelvic floor on. Keep that breath going. So don't hold the breath. Continue to breathe as you lower down. I'm trying to lower the legs now as slowly as you can. As those legs lower, keep that tailbone tucking under to keep the lower back connected to the mat. If you feel that lower back starts to lift the head and shoulders off the mat, just to provide a little bit of support for that lower back as you bring those legs down. And maybe you're pressing the hands into the mat as well. Really working that core strength. Let's lower for 3 more breaths. For 2 more breaths. 1. And bring them all the way down to the mat. Let's take the heels as wide as your mat now. And take up space with your arms, palms facing up. As we come into our final posture, our Shavasana, as always, if you have a blanket, please take your blanket, cover yourself in your blanket to keep the energy, the heat trapped in your body. Or you can take a jumper if you have a jumper. And just find some comfort in your Shavasana. The eyes closed. Surrendering your entire body. Allowing yourself to be. And soften behind the eyes. Soften the jaw, maybe give it a wiggle. And wherever you are in your yoga practice, remember, all is good. You're exactly where you need to be. Sometimes we get so focused on a posture, on perfecting a posture, which I always say there is no perfect posture. It's however that posture feels in your body. That's what's perfect to you. Every posture needs to be perfect for where you are right now, right at this point in your practice. But try not to get focused on a posture, on it succeeding to make it look nice. Just do the practice. Just go with the flow and just enjoy the journey. Some very excited children. I hope you can't hear them coming through the microphone. They're coming from up the street. Or maybe you have noises around you right now. Just allow those noises to be without naming them. Just listen, just hear those sounds. Whether it's birds you're hearing, maybe you can hear cars going past your house. Just hear the sound of your world without judgment. As always, your option to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you feel you need. Otherwise, we're going to take an inhale. Exhale the breath, completely connect the navel to the spine. Inhale the breath into your heart space. Exhale the breath into the fingertips and the toes as we start to wiggle the fingers and toes and bring movement back to the body. Start to rotate ankles and wrists or move the limbs, whatever feels good as you bring life back to your being. And bringing your feet, your legs together when you're ready, and taking your arms overhead for a full body stretch. And draw your knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze. Take a moment to show gratitude for thanking yourself and turning up on your mat and giving yourself the time you need every day to reconnect with yourself. We need to be whole in ourselves, or at least we need to work on ourselves before we can help anybody else in this world. And let's rock over to our right hand side. Blinking the eyes open and joining me again in a comfortable seated cross-legged position. And of course, stay in your Shavasana if you wish here. We'll bring our hands into Anjali Mudra at our heart center when we're there. Let's reconnect with the breath. And I'll finish with an Om and a little mantra. Join me in the mantra if you know it. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale for Om. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamidaya Purnamivavashishyate. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hare Om. Raising our hands to our heads for kindness in our thoughts to ourselves and others, to our hearts for kindness in our actions, and to our lips for kindness in our words. From my heart to your heart always. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. It's a little bit slower practice this evening, but still quite strong. Hopefully you worked your body, opened your hips, opened the body, energized a little bit, but relaxed you at the same time. Tomorrow it is the full moon, so we are going to be winding it right down and just going for a nice, good stretch. So we'll warm the body up a little bit, not too much. Then we'll just go for a nice stretch. So nothing too strenuous. As I always say, on the full moon, we need to wind it down. It's when injuries can happen or more likely to happen. And if you know anyone in A&E, they will say, yes, it does happen around full moon. We get more casualties in. So yeah, we'll wind it down tomorrow. But I do hope you feel nice and chill now. And yeah, if you're still in Shavasana, enjoy the rest of your Shavasana. And I will be with you again at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. As always, please like the video if you enjoyed it. It helps with the algorithms. Please subscribe if you aren't yet a subscriber. Please share the video with others. If
you think others would be interested in my classes, this one or any of the other now 30 odd classes that I have on there. And if you are financially stable enough to do so, please make a small donation to help feed me during this time when I can't teach, I can't get to you guys. So yeah, please help me. I feel like Oliver, please, just a little bit of change. But no, of course, if you're financially stable, please enjoy the classes. I will be here every day, 6 days a week, providing these classes for you. So thank you so much for joining me. I shall see some of you tomorrow. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Love to you all. Stay safe, stay sane.